Right now at 6, the Missouri Public Service Commission invites Liberty customers out to a town hall addressing concerns about the utility provider.
And we have ongoing rain chances through today and the weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
Plus, a former Missouri congressman who wanted to eliminate the IRS now gets to run it.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
It's Friday, June 13th, and we're starting off with more rain. I'm really sick of the rain. I don't know about you. I know. Yeah.
I don't know about you. When I was driving to work this morning, compared to driving in those thunderstorms,
that is true. It wasn't that bad.
You can't
I'll give
complain.
You that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready for it to be sunny next week. But until then, we do have rain chances through the weekend. Now you can see us out in 7th and Range Line, just a few light showers, maybe some sprinkles still sticking around. But all of that is going to clear out. We get another round of isolated rain chances through noon to about 1-2 p.m. and then it falls off again. Through the evening, we're looking good, but we've got more rain chances coming through Saturday and Sunday. Now, taking a look what we've currently got going on. A couple of these isolated showers you can see out in the Joplin area. A few light showers, might be just sprinkles out there. Butler, Shell City, north of Nevada, Mound City, and west of Fort Scott. But then heading down a little bit further south, Carthage has been getting some heavy rain now for the last hour. It is starting to lighten up, but still getting potentially some flash flooding going on. These are going to be not too bad, but we've had so much rain over the last couple of weeks that any additional rainfall could lead to flooding risks. Now, on top of the light showers we still have going on, as all these showers start to clear out, we could see some fog developing right behind it because temperatures are going to quickly warm up. So all of the rain that we just saw this morning evaporating quickly, getting us some fog already on slick roads. It could cause some driving conditions through your morning commute that it might make it a little bit more dangerous, again, just through the morning hours. But we're going to start to see mostly cloudy skies popping back up. A few isolated shower chances by early afternoon and then back to cloudy skies until early evening. All those clouds do start to clear out. We have more chances of rain moving in early Saturday morning. Saturday, we're mostly seeing isolated shower chances, isolated thunderstorm chances. It is going to be a much warmer weekend. Today, we're only getting up to the upper 70s, but Saturday, upper 80s, so 10-degree jump. Sunday, mid-80s after some morning thunderstorms. That all clears out by mid-morning, and the rest of the day for Father's Day is looking pretty good, so you might get a chance to get outside and grill with Dad, but I'm going to have a full look at your forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. We'll check in with you in just a bit. Well, residents and consumers with Liberty Utilities give testimony and speak on issues with the electric company. The meeting put on by the Missouri Public Service Commission is part of a larger investigation into Liberty's billing and customer service issues. KOAM's Anthony Saviello attended last night's meeting and has more about both the meeting and the investigation.
A full parking lot and a door that never closes as residents walk into the Missouri Southern Justice Auditorium to make their voices heard.
I just kind of found this out. 30 years to pay for that mess up at Asbury plant is insane.
The meeting put on by the Missouri Public Service Commission serves as a way for commission staff to gather evidence in a case against Liberty Utilities.
We've heard a number of people say that they are having billing issues and service issues across the spectrum for Liberty. This is the fourth in a series of in-person town halls we have conducted this week. The staff's goal is to hear from the public.
Officials from Liberty in attendance responding to comments and questions and helping customers with any ongoing issues.
So I'm just awfully curious, how did somebody enter a job 9 times and not know they did?
What happened was there was an error in one of the bills, and so that batch, we call them batch, like your jobs, and that batch got held back.
But what happens once the report that this town hall adds to is finished?
I would not predict what the commission will do, but the commission will take this report and use that as the basis for whatever orders it wants to issue to improve the situation for Liberty customers.
In Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
There is no set date on when the report by commission staff is to be done. However, staff members are to give an update on the report every 90 days. Well, the city of Carterville has some information regarding the city's storm sirens. Storm Siren 1, located underneath the water tower in North Carterville, is undergoing repairs and will temporarily be out of service. The city says while Siren 2 remains fully operational, the lack of Siren 1 will reduce overall audible warning coverage. It also says it hopes to have the siren back online as quickly and safely as possible. The city will provide an update once full service is restored. Cox Health announced a plan to expand access to pediatric care in Southwest Missouri by partnering with St. Louis Children's Hospital. The two will work together to bring more advanced care to children in Springfield and the surrounding region. The partnership hopes this will reduce the need for families to travel long distances for specialty care. A new pediatric hospital will be created to offer specialty care clinics, imaging, lab services, and more. The healthcare providers say they hope this will enhance local access to more highly specialized medical and surgical care.
A third of our patients, our kids, today have to travel outside of this area to receive care. We know there's almost another 20% of kids that don't travel because they can't afford to. So we know that mass of that population now will have their home of care right here in the Ozarks.
Construction for this new outpatient center is underway at the Cox South Hospital, and it's expected to be done and open by 2027. A former U.S. Representative Billy Long of Southwest Missouri will lead the Internal Revenue Service. The U.S. Senate yesterday confirmed Long on a 53-44 vote despite Democrats' concerns about the Republicans' past work for a firm that pitched a fraud-ridden pandemic-era tax break. Now, while in Congress, where he served from 2011 to 2023, Long sponsored legislation to get rid of the IRS. Long has no background in tax administration. Before his election to Congress, Long was an auctioneer. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Department of Health and Human Services is reinstating more than 450 CDC employees that were fired back in April. Plus, President Donald Trump's National Guard deployment battle escalates as courts clash and tensions rise in the Senate. And rain chances continue. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, Spotify, Google, and Amazon Web Services were among multiple online platforms that were hit by outages yesterday. Thousands of users were affected by the interruption. According to service provider Cloudflare, Google Cloud outage was behind the issue. And by the afternoon, some services began coming back online, and no official word on what caused the outage. Google did not issue an immediate response. Well, hundreds of workers who were fired from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are getting their jobs back. According to a spokesperson at the Department of Health and Human Services, more than 450 jobs will be reinstated. Now, that's about 20% of the 2,400 CDC employees who were dismissed. The cuts were part of a massive reorganization in April. Some of the workers focused on HIV, lead exposure, and workplace safety. Well, this morning, the legal battle over President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles is heating up. Overnight, a federal judge sided with California, ordering the Trump administration to return control of the National Guard to Governor Gavin Newsom. Then an appeals court halted that decision, allowing the Guard to stay in place. This as the fallout continues after a Democratic senator was physically removed while trying to question the security of the Secretary of Homeland Security yesterday. Jared Hill has more from New York.
In a late-night decision, an appeals court ruled 4,000 National Guard troops can stay on the streets of Los Angeles under President Donald Trump's control for now. The decision quickly reversing a federal judge's order to pull back the troops and hand control back to California's governor.
He is not a monarch. He is not a king.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla.
Hours earlier, a chaotic scene.
Hands on your back.
Democratic California Senator Alex Padilla, in plain clothes, was forcibly removed from Homeland Security Secretary Christopher Kristi Noem's press conference.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers.
On X, Noem accused Padilla of creating a scene, adding that she and the senator later briefly met and exchanged numbers.
His approach, was something that I don't think was appropriate at all. But the conversation was great.
All of it a response to the anti-ICE protests sparked by immigration raids in LA, the movement spreading across the nation. Last night in Newark, New Jersey, demonstrations outside an immigration detention center alleging poor conditions.
They're not getting good food, it's really dirty, and they don't always have access to visitation.
Amid the crackdown, yesterday President Trump signaled he may make an exception on immigration enforcement for farm workers. Jared Hill, CBS News.
All this is going on as a day of protest is expected tomorrow throughout the nation. President Trump is also planning a military parade in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. He has said that any protesters there will be met with, quote, very big force. And still to come, a new study finds that dementia caregivers face higher personal health risks. We'll take a look. Plus, Lindsay returns with another look at your Friday forecast as well as the weekend forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, Florida wildlife officials had to trap and relocate a bear that took a dip in someone's hot tub and napped on their lanai. Now, the animal's antics were captured on camera. Melanie Hernandez-Lopez spoke with neighbors who say the bear clearly meant no harm.
Residents in the multi-million-dollar Punta Gorda Isles community woke up Sunday to find an uninvited guest with fur, claws, and a taste for luxury.
He's enjoying the suburban life.
You guys ever seen a bear in this neighborhood?
No, never.
No.
And I've been here about 18 years.
Landscapers spotted the bear running through a backyard on Jamaica Way, calling 911. Officers knocked on the homeowner's door to warn him that a bear was in his yard. At first, he thought that they were joking, and then he saw this, a bear taking a bath in his hot tub.
He just took off the pillows of the couch and was getting ready to take a nap.
That nap lasted nearly 6 hours right under his lanai.
I wish I had that life. He had fun.
He's a big teddy bear.
And FWC says they tried using what they call hazing techniques to encourage the bear to leave gently. But now he's made his way to another street, Hibiscus Court.
Enjoy it because it's something you don't see every day, especially in your neighborhood. So just, be nice, don't run like crazy, and enjoy that you get to see a black bear.
FWC officers are trying to relocate the bear, taking it back to its natural habitat.
He's not looking for any trouble, that's for sure.
By the looks of it, that was his natural habitat. He looked right at home there. Well, Florida wildlife officials say the bear was relocated Monday night. Let's head over now to Lindsay for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we do have ongoing rain chances. You can see some showers lingering through the mid-morning hours out near Carthage, south of Lamar, and northeast of Joplin. But we are looking pretty good. Now we've got ongoing flooding chances as well along the Osage River until Sunday evening, and that's due to the continuous chances of rain over the entire weekend, which I'm going to have a look at here coming up shortly. Well, we have ongoing flooding chances along the Osage River just north of Nevada, and that is until Sunday evening because we have continual chances of rainfall today and through the rest of the weekend. Now you can see how we've had widespread showers this morning. They have started to die down a little bit, dissipate, but we are still seeing some showers that are near Jasper and in Carthage. They're going to continue to rotate a little bit before they start to clear out. Now taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh. Still see a little bit of the slick roads out there, but you can see some sunshine peeking through those clouds. That's basically how we're going to see our entire day today. Mostly cloudy skies, a few isolated chances of rain showers, and then the sun peeking out there every now and then. Now, down at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, same deal. Overcast skies, slick roads. You can see there's still a little bit of water on the camera out there. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. It feels a bit cooler because of those rain showers that kept us cool. And then through the morning hours, we're going to see a little bit of fog developing, especially along back roads and anywhere where there's low-lying water. That's going to continue until about 8 to 9 a.m. And you see our temperatures warm back up into the lower 70s by 11 a.m., but we stay seeing those cloudy skies all the way through the evening hours. So by 10 p.m. starting to see some clouds breaking a bit. Temperatures are getting up to the mid to upper 70s today as well. So it's going to be a decent day once all of those rain showers clear out. Now by 9:30 we still have a couple more, again, isolated showers, but the rest of us, cloudy skies, could get some areas where we see a little bit of that mist, maybe some sprinkles, but not a big threat there. Now that starts to push out of the area by about 3:30 to 4 p.m. Still getting those overcast skies for the rest of us, but out near Monette, Bella Vista, Cassville, all pushing out those rain showers. Now again, we have momentary break in the clouds overnight tonight. Doesn't really do us much good because we don't get to see the sunshine. But by Saturday morning, 4 a.m., a few more clouds and isolated showers and thunderstorms start to return back to the 4 states. Now, most of these are going to stay just light showers, but we could get some thunderstorms pushing in. Not severe, but still thunderstorms, a little bit of lightning, heavy downpours. Now you can see one moving up near Seneca, south of I-44, and west of I-49. Now, those are going to continue to stick around again. Random showers popping up through the afternoon. This is now 11:30. We're going to have showers, thunderstorms pushing out of Parsons area into Columbus, Oswego, and then out into the Joplin area by about noon to 1 p.m. Now again, still seeing those showers sticking around. By 7:30, we do have the chance to see more sunshine peeking out. But it doesn't last long because we do have thunderstorms coming back into the area overnight Saturday and into Sunday morning. Now, this is where we could see the strongest portion of our storm chances. Like I said, most of this is going to be non-severe. We could get the chance to see some strong wind gusts with this because you can see how it flows out. That's our gust front, where we could see gusts 50 to 55 miles per hour ahead of this storm. Now it does continue to push further south into our area, southeast, and by that point really breaks apart. Could get some heavy rain showers, but by early morning Sunday, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., we're mostly just getting some lingering showers still sticking around. So that's going to be overnight, not a huge threat for us, and we're really not looking at anything severe. By the rest of your Father's Day, all of that rain clears out. We get some partly cloudy skies sticking around through the afternoon hours, so you actually get a chance to get outside and celebrate with Dad. Now again, not looking at anything severe. We've been dealing with a lot of severe weather the last couple of weeks. Could get some strong storms, especially Sunday morning with that storm moving in, but staying below severe limits. Our biggest threat this weekend is going to be the just ongoing chances of rain because we've already had so much rain chances. So those are going to stick around. And like I said, temperatures are going to be warming up as well into the upper 80s, giving us a chance to get some evaporation done. May not see as big of a flooding threat as we might think. But heading into next week, sun comes back out, temperatures return to the lower 90s. Definitely getting a chance to dry out next week. We just have to push through the rest of the weekend. I'm going to have, that's a look at your forecast. Let's go over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, a new analysis finds dementia caregivers are more likely to report risk factors that increase their own risk for dementia. Researchers at the University of Minnesota and the Alzheimer's Association say those risk factors include smoking, hypertension, poor sleep, diabetes, and obesity. Almost 60% of caregivers report at least one of the risk factors and almost 25% multiple risk factors. Caregivers under the age of 45 are especially vulnerable, according to the study. Well, new research from UCLA shows hospitalized patients with COVID-linked acute kidney injury are less likely to need dialysis and are more likely to survive after discharge if they were vaccinated. Acute kidney injury is common for COVID-19 patients, with rates topping almost 50%. The study finds unvaccinated patients with the syndrome had a 5-time higher risk of dying in the hospital. And there may be a link between exposure to synthetic compounds known as forever chemicals before birth and higher blood pressure during teenage years. The research out of Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health finds the link is strongest for boys and black children. People are most commonly exposed to the chemicals, which build up over time through drinking water and food, personal care, and household products. That's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, kids got to learn the ins and outs of the healthcare industry thanks to Pitt State.
And we have isolated chances for rain that are sticking around through the weekend. I'll have a look coming up.
Plus, an American Legion post in Joplin prepares a flag retirement ceremony to mark Flag Day.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
And it's Friday, June 13th. We've been saying it all this morning. Friday the 13th.
A little spooky.
It started with rain. It was a little eerie this morning, but it looks beautiful out there
I know. It's cleared out really nicely. We might still get some fog through the next hour or so, which just would add to that spooky effect of Friday the 13th. But I'm hoping everyone has a great day and it stays lucky for everybody instead of unlucky. But I mean, it's pretty lucky because rain's cleared out by the time people really have to get on the road. Now you can see 7th and Range Line still getting some slick roads out there, but clouds are clearing again over the next couple of days. Now we've got isolated chances of rain continuing through the rest of the day. Tapers off a bit through mid-morning hours, but it spikes again by early afternoon. Over the overnight hours, looking good, but we have more rain chances Saturday and even into Sunday. Now taking a look, we have some showers still lingering. Most of this has started to die down, but you can see out near the Joplin area in Carthage, Webb City, still getting some heavy rain showers. And then up in the north, just north of Fort Scott, again, lighter showers still sticking around. Not a big threat there. Those are going to continue to clear out. And like I said, behind all this rain, could see some fog developing as well. Dropping visibility along with those roads already being slick could cause some dangerous driving conditions through those morning hour commute. But clouds stick around, but the rain clears out. We do have those isolated chances by early afternoon, but later on this evening, we are going to start to see clouds breaking apart for Saturday. We do have isolated chances returning on Saturday, but if you're not seeing any rain, you're going to see the sunshine. Temperatures are also returning to the upper 80s. Today, we're only getting up to the upper 70s, and then we're going to stay in the 80s all weekend long. Sunday, Father's Day, we're starting off with some strong thunderstorms, especially out in the Kansas and Oklahoma side. Those will continue to push and linger until mid-morning hours, but they do break apart, giving us a chance to actually celebrate Dad this weekend, and I'll have a full forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. And as we head into Father's Day weekend, a father from Fulton, Kansas is in the fight of his life. 41-year-old Joe Erie, a husband and dad of 2, is battling a rare and aggressive form of testicular cancer. Doctors say time is running out, and Joe says he's one of the rare 2% of patients who don't respond to standard treatment. Now, with limited options left, Joe is turning to the community for help, hoping to fund what could be his last chance at survival.
He became completely paralyzed from the belly button down. He has a tumor on his spine, the T9 area to be exact, that had cut off the blood supply to the spinal cord.
Spiritual now than he was before. Like he could go tonight and he'd be happy.
Now, if you want to help this family, there will be a GoFundMe link on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. The KOAM Plus TV streaming app. The free nursing summer day camp took place yesterday at Pittsburg State University. Kids ages 7 through 11 were able to participate in several different stations where they learned about CPR, anatomy, simulation patient care, and more. Now, it was an opportunity for the kids to learn about the different fields of nursing and gain a few extra skills.
Just to get their interest in something they may not be aware of, or show them that there are all aspects of nursing that if they wanted to be a nurse, they could really do. Pediatrics, adults, I mean, just that there's so many different fields in nursing that they could be a part of.
Pittsburg State University is holding day camps on a variety of topics throughout the summer. And families and friends gather at Lakeside Park in Pittsburgh for a real good time with local heroes. The Pittsburgh Parks and Rec hosted a free fishing event yesterday evening, bringing the community together for an evening of fun and outdoor adventure. Last night's event was a great way for residents to connect with local heroes and enjoy some quality time by the water.
We've got Lakeside Park, University Pond, Lincoln Park. There's plenty of fishing opportunities close to home here in Pittsburgh. So trying to highlight that and get people connected with the community, but then also with our heroes of the community as well.
Now, the city does provide all of the fishing gear and no license was needed, making it easy for everyone to join in on all the fun. And mark your calendars because Pittsburgh is planning a family fun fishing night on July 17th. A lot of four-staters will display the Stars and Stripes for Flag Day on Saturday. Of course, that's tomorrow, but those flags can become faded and tattered with time. KOAM's Ty Parks talks with a local military veteran about the proper way to retire Old Glory with respect.
The United States flag flies high above the city. Retired Air Force Master Sergeant Dennis Burr tells us what it means to him.
But it's such an honor to serve that flag because to me, you stop and think about the blood and the sweat and the opportunity that these men and women gave us, dying for our country to protect that flag and to give us the freedom that we have and deserve today.
But what do we do when our flag becomes worn with age?
Every June 14th is Flag Day since 1917, and it's always a chance for us to look at our flags we have at home or on our businesses and make sure they're in the best condition for flying and the best representation of the country. A flag that's tattered or worn or faded should be disposed of, and we dispose of them in a proper way, mostly through burning. And there's a ceremony that goes along with that. There's a proper way to fold the flag, burn the flag, say some words, and the respectful part of it is take the ash and actually bury the ash into the ground.
I tell you what, one of the most moving things that I've ever done in my life is to attend the funeral of a veteran that has been killed in the military during the wartime. You see that flag draped coffin, and they bring it back, they fold it, they give it to the family. But it's an opportunity for me to reflect on what that flag means and what we as veterans gave up so that you, myself, and all Americans can have the freedom to do what we do today. And
13 stripes, 50 stars, one symbol of the Union. Ty Parks, KOAM News.
If you do have an old tattered flag in need of a proper retirement, the next Great American Flag Swap is coming up July 2nd at Arvest Bank in Joplin. The event hosted by KOAM gives people the opportunity to exchange their old American flags for brand new ones. You can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for more information. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and of course that means Shannon Becker joins us with his big three stories of the week. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This morning we have Shannon Becker in the studio with his big three news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning.
Good morning, Elise. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself there?
Great as always.
Wonderful.
Let's take a look at the big three stories this week. Live and local, what's happening where you live. Talked about it for 12 days, in fact. He was on the run for 12 days. Grant Harden committed his crimes, honestly, about an hour from here. He was on the run from an Arkansas prison. Now, where the prison was about 5 miles from town, what people don't realize that he was captured north of there in the woods. So he only got about a mile and a half away. caught on a little creek there called Moccasin Creek.
Very interesting. And
Yeah.
he was just out there in the woods.
Yep.
Wow.
They haven't told us yet. I'm sure he's obviously told them what he was eating. He
That's
would have
what
been
I'm
foraging.
curious about,
That's-
because it was
yeah.
for a long time
Yeah.
that he was out there for just about, like you said, not that far away from where he escaped.
I think it was obviously planned, but it was just more of an opportunity probably for him to get away. It's not like he had a lot of provisions and anyone to help him. He's now in Gould, Arkansas, the Varner Supermax. No one's ever escaped from there.
Okay.
Our number 2 story, live and local. It was last Saturday morning. It's become another annual tradition. They started this in the 1980s and
Yes.
90s when I was growing up. They do the March for Jesus, and they would do it downtown in Joplin, and all the churches come together. It is always rallied around the day of Pentecost.
Right.
So that's when the church in the New Testament was formed, in the New Testament church, if you
Okay.
don't want to necessarily call it. So they come together and they celebrate. There are about 400 people. So it was really, really kind of refreshing to see.
Quite
and
a
kinda
lot of
neat.
people,
Yeah,
400
yeah.
people out there in
Yeah.
the streets of Joplin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our number 1 story, KOAM News Now. Speaking of downtown Joplin, this is a scary one.
I know.
An apartment fire.
Yes.
The Messenger Towers, it was on the 11th floor, and the kitchen had a fire. A lot of damage from what I understand inside that apartment, but fire was contained to that one apartment, amazingly.
Right.
Some people were evacuated. In fact, some people there on that floor stayed out of their apartment for the entire day, but they were allowed to go back late at night. That one person, I believe, in that one apartment is being assisted by the Red Cross since they are displaced currently.
Okay.
They haven't really released a lot more details, but no one was injured.
Right,
also.
which thank goodness.
Yeah,
That could have
yeah.
been a very dangerous situation, especially those kitchen fires. We had Dustin Luno yesterday
yesterday
talking about kitchen fires and ways to prevent those, and of course having a handy fire extinguisher with you. So
And
that's
it's it's the most common fire. House
Right.
fire is a kitchen fire.
Yes.
Our bonus story of the week. This is so adorable. I literally had to share this with you. This is a bobcat, a little bobcat kitten.
So cute.
In Lenexa, Kansas. There was a storm recently. This little kitten made its way into somebody's house. So animal control officers the next day put it back out and let it cry at the same place, the same house. And look, it climbed up on a fence as it was
my
crying.
gosh.
And here comes Mama. Is that
There
not
you go,
amazing?
Mom to the rescue.
I can't
Super
believe
Mom,
it.
look at that.
And the video is just wow.
And
It's
look
just-
at it.
It's so
like,
wow.
oh, there you are,
A little,
Mom.
little tail like, oh, Mom, I'm thirsty. I want some of that, Mom. Move over. Oh, it's so cute. You can see more of that on our website,
Yes.
KOAM News Now, and our Joplin News First tab. It's super cool, isn't that?
Adorable.
I love it.
Unbelievable. That's
I love it.
incredible. Wow.
It's our big 3 stories of the week, KOAM.
Wonderful. Well, Shannon, as always, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, it's time to celebrate Friday the 13th birthdays and anniversaries here in the 4 states. We're going to start in Crestline with a happy 6th birthday to Riley Hutto.
And switching over to Scammon, Kansas, turning 13 today, Ali Musa.
And in Pittsburgh, a happy 15th birthday to Landon Profit.
Turning 17 today, Carly Kirkwood over in Chautauqua. Love Mima and Papa.
And making our way to Oswego, a happy 19th birthday to Zaylin Baldwin. It says here, we love you.
Jumping back over to Jasper, Missouri, turning 34 today, Amber Jennings. Happy birthday, Amber.
And in Carthage, a happy 52nd birthday to Kenny Brown.
And back over to Joplin, Missouri, happy birthday to Lisa Lawrence, turning 54 today.
And happy birthday to Shirley York in Pittsburgh, turning 89 today.
Now we've got another birthday out in Columbus, Kansas. Happy birthday to Della Campbell. Officially old, but not too old for me. Love your loving hubby, Jim.
How sweet. And continuing our list over in Iola with a happy 67th birthday to Roger Madison.
And last but not least, happy birthday to George Terwilliger. We've got a great set of birthdays.
Certainly
birthdays here.
do.
Friday the 13th birthdays, but still great.
Fantastic. And of course, if you'd like to celebrate your birthday or your anniversary with us, you can do so by submitting them to birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and the messages. We didn't get a lot today, so it'd be great to read some more. And to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, and to please include the date of your celebration as well. Let's head over now to Lindsay for a full look at the forecast.
But we do still have ongoing flooding chances along some rivers, especially the Osage River up north of Nevada until Sunday evening. And that's because we have ongoing chances of rain today, Saturday, and even into Sunday that could cause more flooding risks. Now you can see how our rain chances have really dwindled over the last couple of hours. So we're looking pretty good. Still getting some showers out there south of Lamar, out near Jasper, Carthage, maybe some sprinkles elsewhere. But as you can see, taking a look outside downtown Pittsburgh, we are starting to see a little bit of sun peeking through those clouds, and most of the roads, although still some slick spots you can see, most of the roads are starting to clear up. Now the same going on out in 7th and Rangeline. You can see how some sunshine coming through those clouds, plus out in the Joplin area, a little bit more slick with those roads. Now temperatures are in the upper 60s, might be a little bit cooler just because we are seeing those showers that brought our temperatures down a bit, but they're going to warm up. So by mid-morning today, back into the 70s. Overcast skies do continue, though you saw we're going to get the chance to see some the sun peeking through some of those clouds. Now temperatures warm up to the mid to upper 70s today. By later on this evening, clouds do clear for a brief moment, but we have more rain moving in on Saturday. So let's take a look at our future track. Now, again, this is 9:30, so we're going to have a couple more pop-up showers as we head through the morning and afternoon hours. But by 4 p.m., a couple of showers right there on our eastern border, Monette out to Cassville. But the rest of us, mostly just seeing those overcast skies. And again, seeing a little bit of sunshine in there. Clouds do break apart for the overnight hours. But as we start our Saturday off pretty early, about 4 to 5 a.m., a couple of these showers start to push back in. Now, we're not expecting a severe threat, but we could see some stronger portions of the storm. Now, you can see by 8:30, mainly staying south of I-44 for the early morning hours on Saturday. Bella Vista out to Pineville, and then up to Seneca. You can see stronger storm right on the I-44 border. But later into the morning hours, we're going to have more thunderstorms popping up out in Kansas. Moving into southeastern Kansas, you can see Parsons out to Columbus, Oswego, just south of Pittsburgh, and then heading into the Joplin area by about noon to 1 p.m. You can see how that clears out. A couple more isolated showers stick around through the evening hours, with a strong storm wanting to push in after midnight on Saturday and into early Sunday morning. So you can see mainly moving in from the west. You see a little bit of a bowing segment, so we could get some strong winds with that 50 to 55 miles per hour winds, and definitely dealing with some heavy rainfall, which leads to ongoing flooding. Not to mention we've had so much rain in the last couple of weeks. Roads or rivers are at their capacity level, and all of our low-lying areas, I mean, are just completely saturated. So any additional rain chances, especially with heavy downpours of rain, could lead to ongoing flooding. And that'll continue to push in by early morning on Sundays. This is now 6 a.m. Getting some lingering showers there through our central counties, but it all clears out, giving us a chance to, again, celebrate Dad for Father's Day with the sun coming back out for the afternoon hours. Now, we're not looking at a severe threat. Again, could see some strong storms through Sunday morning in our western counties, but no severe threat as of right now. Definitely going to see those ongoing flooding chances over the weekend just because of how much rain we've already seen. So about 1/10 of an inch to 2.5 inches of rain is how much we could see in some isolated areas, being higher chances of rain accumulation. Now, temperatures are going to warm up this weekend, which helps with our flooding risk because it helps with the evaporation. Upper 80s on Saturday, mid 80s on Sunday. Does clear out by Sunday mid-morning to early afternoon, giving us that sunshine later in the day. And then sun returns all week and into next weekend with the temperatures. You can see overnight lows in the 70s and highs in the low 90s. So it's going to be a hot week this week. Now, coming up when the KOEM morning news switches on over to Fox 14, we'll see how firefighters camp in Virginia trying to encourage more women to sign up.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Former U.S. Representative Billy Long of Southwest Missouri will lead the Internal Revenue Service. The U.S. Senate confirmed Long on a 53-44 vote. Long served from 2011 to 2023 and sponsored legislation to get rid of the IRS. Long has no background in tax administration. Before his election to Congress, Long was an auctioneer. The city of Carterville has some information regarding the city's storm sirens. Storm Siren 1, located underneath the water tower in North Carterville, is undergoing repairs and will be temporarily out of service. The city says that Sirens 2 remains fully operational, and the city will provide an update once full service is restored. And Cox Health announced a plan to expand its pediatric care in Southwest Missouri by partnering with St. Louis Children's Hospital. The two will work together to bring more advanced care to children in Springfield and the surrounding region. Construction is underway at the Cox South Hospital. It's expected to be done and open by 2027. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Well, rain is lingering, but starting to clear out. We'll have more isolated chances of rain showers throughout the day, clearing by overnight, and then we have more chances of rain as we head into the weekend, Father's Day weekend, so you might get a little bit of a damper on your festivities, but overall should clear out in time, at least for the afternoon on Sunday.
All right, wonderful, Lindsay. Thanks. And coming up today at noon, we're making dinosaur ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a Southeast Kansas father faces a rare cancer battle. Hear how his family's fight now depends on the kindness of his community.
Plus, Shannon Becker joins us back in the studio to talk about his big 3 news stories of the week. But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.